Okay, let's start some videos now. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Let's start some videos. Put up just briefly David Hogue one more time, just because in a little bit I'm going to show you something that is interesting to me. Okay, let's leave that there. Now, let's go with the video that I said start at 108. Okay, now wait a minute. These kids have come up. They're March for Life, March for Our Lives, on March 24th. Join us to, there's a website. I'm on the website. On March 24th, the kids and families of March for Our Lives will take to the streets of Washington, D.C. and demand that their lives and safety become a priority and that we end gun violence and mass shooting in our schools today. I just hope Rahm Emanuel from Chicago is there. March with us in Washington, D.C., and that's the website. They've got a mission statement. We'll go into that. And you're even able, who put this together, to make a donation or already purchase the t-shirt. Show that. This is March for Our Life. Okay. Show the March for Our Life. When you go to it, when you first go to it, there's a pop-up in the center, right? Go to the picture I have, March for Our Lives. Right when you go to it, there's a pop-up in the center, okay? And you have to exit out. You can donate immediately. On March 24th, the kids and families of March for Our Lives will take to the streets of D.C. and demand that our lives and safety become priority and that we end this epidemic of mass school shootings. The collective voices of March for Our Lives movement will be heard. Join us in D.C. or march in your own community. Let's march or let's donate. Or donate immediately when you go in there. So let's go to the video right now that I have started. Let's see which one I have. It says, Parkland students make demands of lawmakers. And I think we start that at 108. Let's put that one up right now.
Inspired, and we're going to use this to try and make something better out of it.
Do you really think change is possible in terms of, I mean, for what the kind of change you want?
Everything I've heard where we can't do anything and this is just out of our hands, is inevitable. I think that's a facade that the GOP is putting up. I think that's what they want us to think. I think that after every shooting, the NRA sends them a memo saying, send your thoughts and prayers, say let's not talk about it now, say this happens. This is the only country where this kind of thing happens. I've been hearing things from people, they don't have gun drills the way we do. We had to prepare extensively at Stoneman Douglas, and that shocked people. This is something that can be stopped, and this is something that will be stopped.
Yeah, I talked to the football coach yesterday who was saying that this school, in its 28 years, this school was the most prepared than any school he had ever taught in. I mean, they'd had repeated drills. Any school that could have been ready for something like this, there was a single point of entry, there was an armed guard, and yet it happened.
The faculty at Stoneman Douglas is amazing. Our security guards are all dedicated. Aaron Face, he died protecting us, and all of them knew exactly what they were doing. We've been through this a million times. We've talked about it a million times. We've had good discussions about this. We thought we were the last people who were going to have to deal with this. And if we didn't have the faculty we did, this could have been a lot worse.
You know, obviously there are a lot of politicians who are focusing on mental health and saying, look, something needs to be done about that, greater focus on mental health.
I think mental health is important. I think that it's being used as a way to get out of discussing gun control, but I think there's a very clear connection between the two. I'm not trying to take everybody's guns away, but there was a 19-year-old who legally bought an AR-15, which is a weapon of war, and if he had been through the least bit of screening, somebody would have said, this person does not need a weapon like that. And I think there need to be a lot more regulations put on guns, and it needs to be a lot harder to get them.
So, you know, you're a junior right now. Obviously, you're already thinking about college, but thinking about what you want to do afterward. Has this changed your thought about what you may want to do with your life?
Absolutely. I've always been inspired. I think I've always been passionate in how to drive, but this is something completely new. This feels like a calling. This doesn't feel like a hobby. I'm trying to spread as much awareness about this as I can, and I hope to continue doing that as long as it takes.
You have a brother who has special needs. You wanted to say and compliment the police officers.
Okay, folks, that happens to be, before we go any further, that happens to be Cameron Kasky. Okay, put his picture up. This is Cameron, okay, one of the Obama kids. Cameron Kasky. Now you listen to that very closely, folks. Put up Cameron's picture with Anderson Cooper. All right, look at that. Nice little, hey, he's with Anderson Cooper. Why not get that photo? Hey, who hasn't done that, right? And then put up the other one with him and Anderson Cooper of CNN. Okay, that's the interview. Who wrote that interview for that kid? Who wrote that interview? Now, we will not have, because we only have 2 hours, we will not have enough time to break everything down. But that kid there, go back to him and Anderson Cooper, that picture. Stay with that a minute, Amanda. He said the facade the Republicans put up. Now, why did he not say the facade politicians put up? Why did he not say there's a facade every time this happens that the government puts up? But no, it's a facade that the Republicans put up where the NRA, these are well-coached kids, NRA send Republicans sound bites to send prayers and condolences to the family. Used as a way to get out of gun control conversation. Mental health. Mental health. Anderson Cooper knew to come back. You see, I do interviews. I will be doing an interview tomorrow. And I do not do a staged interview. Okay? But I have had some interviews with business owners and things like that where I do discuss, not political, where I discuss where we're going next. And I'll say, look, we're going to talk about your business. We want to promote your business. So here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say this, and you're going to say this, and then I'm going to say this, and I'm going to lead you down this road this way. Now, I don't want that misunderstood. I think I'm clear, right, Amanda? I think I'm clear. I have done interviews where a business or something of that nature is taking place, that we're highlighting an event or something where, yes, I've taken the person right down through the interview. And I could spot that. I could spot that because I do it. So this is being used for mental health, is being used as a way to get out of the gun control conversation. We need a lot more regulations. We need to make it harder to get them. He feels a calling, maybe a political calling. Now, on every one of these, Amanda, would you like to tell me how you feel about when you watch that video right there? Would you like to go with that?
At his age, I feel like I was there at one point, and his influence is to blame.
His influence is the blame?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Influence is the blame. Okay, I got it. We'll go with that. Now, let's go to another video. Hold on just a minute. I got it here. Now, this one I think is student David Hogue put his picture up. All right? And I think this picture, David Hogue, he is on Good Morning, CBS Good Morning, Sunday morning, okay? All right? And it's a couple minutes, but you're going to watch him be able to read from the teleprompter what is written for him. Now, the interesting thing here is when he gets to certain areas, you will be able to tell he is timed to pause. He's reading pause, okay? He is timed between certain pictures. You will pick that up. Let's go to student David Hogg on Florida school shooting.
I was in my environmental science class when the first gunshot echoed through the hallways. We never had an active shooter drill at my school, and though we did talk about what to do in this type of situation, nothing could have prepared us for this. Politicians, and more importantly, the American public, must take action if we're going to prevent the next shooting. To elected officials, I say this: don't lie to us. Don't make any more false promises, because when you do, children die. For the unfortunate individuals that were at my school, I ask that this be a time of togetherness and something that is going to be always remembered, not only as a terrible incident, but as a turning point in American history, where students speak up and speak out when the politicians won't. I understand the importance of interest groups and how oftentimes they're necessary to continue a political agenda. However, when that agenda involves putting the lives of children at risk, how can you justify that? I support the Second Amendment, but for God's sake, how can we knowingly pass bills and laws that are in direct opposition to saving kids' lives? Sandy Hook, the Pulse nightclub shooting, and Vegas, just to name a few. What legislation was passed in response? The answer to that question is little, if any. This President's Day, I think it's important that we come together as a nation and see each other's viewpoints and respect each other as fellow Americans. But this tragic event must never be forgotten, because once it is, there will be another one and another one. We need to stand up, go out and vote, talk to your legislators, and get educated. Be persistent, because these interest groups and these politicians will not listen if we don't speak up. So as American citizens, unite and stand up in the face of division, not for any political agenda, but for the lives of millions of school children.
We need to stand up, go out and vote. How about that one, Amanda? Amanda, let me ask you a question. Was that clearly the look of a campaign commercial?
It was. And, you know, like, he looked at his teleprompter the entire time. I feel like someone there at the end, when they went to the few clips, was like, hey, you need to look at the camera at least once. Like, well, this poor kid.
Now, this kid, that is a campaign commercial. Somebody wrote a campaign commercial for this kid, and he read the campaign commercial. David Hogg very well put his picture back up. Okay, he read the campaign commercial, and he rocked the vote. You remember MTV used to rock the vote? He rocked the vote. Stand up, go out and vote. I mean, stand up, go out and vote. They have written slogans. They have written one-liners. They have written everything they can for 2018. Special interest groups that put our children at risk. Okay. Now, I sent you a picture over there, Amanda. I don't want you to give the name, but I sent a picture of someone else he reminds me of. Can you guess and put that picture up? There you go. Way to go, Amanda. Way to go. I'm just serious. Just saying. That's John Ossoff. I know you're going to say, wow, that's John Ossoff. Remember the kid that was, more interested in standing in line to get Star Wars tickets in the 6th Congressional District of Georgia, running against Karen Handel? Remember this kid, the man-child, the boy that was manufactured by the Democrats? A totally manufactured candidate? Now go back to David Hogg. Manufactured 100%. Manufactured this kid. These kids are being manufactured 100% by the same group of people, the same corrupt group that manufactured this candidate. Go back to John. There you go. Same candidate manufactured there, John Ossoff. They are manufacturing candidates. Look, 17 kids were killed in Parkland, and this is what's happening to your Second Amendment rights and the attack on the NRA. Let's go to students push for never again national gun control movement. Let's go to that video. Let's just play a couple minutes of that before we go to, can you get that one for me?
Joining me now are 5 students from Parkland, Florida, who attend Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. They are David Hogg, Alex Wind, and Emma Gonzalez, plus Cameron Caskey and Jacqueline Corin. Thanks so much to all of you for joining me. And Cameron, I'll start with you. You say the adults have let you down.
Well, the adults in office have let us down, absolutely. And fortunately, we have a lot of support from the older generations here. But what we're trying to do here at March for Our Lives is say...
We're going to come back to a quick break. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back right after these words. We got to take a quick break. Something has come up.